I was asked the other day how I do this. It looks more complicated than it is. I think it's an easier way to approach drawing than traditional line work. Basically, I start with a dark field and work the image by lightening the highlights and darkening the shadow areas, basically erasing or adding more graphite. Um, the rectangle is kind of my default shape. I do that just because it looks nice in the sketch, looks nice on the page. I mean, you can start with whatever it is you want to start with. Um, and like I say, generally I just start with a field like this, and most of the time I have a specific image in mind. But we're going to do an abstract piece uh, today, and just basically I'll show you how just to kind of snake an image out. Now, because I have this rectangle, and just by the way I've done this, I have this interior box shape here. And so I'm just going to, this is what I mean, this little area here. I think I'm just going to use that as a template. It's just there, so I'm just going to use that as a starting point for this abstract piece. Um, then it'll just be a matter of working the shapes of it, um, again by darkening in the dark areas, erasing to get the light areas. The mid-tones are established by smudging it. So here we go. Well, you can see there's I've got some imagery stuff here. I don't know what it is, but we have these little areas around here, little dark and light little areas that you just sort of sit back and look at and think, what could I do with them? Is there anything here I could work with? And the first thing that I'm thinking of is that I would like to make this dark area at the top come in off the top edge of the live area. So I'm just going to go ahead and darken that in. And again, you just sort of look, study it, and you can see the various shapes. I'll make this a little darker in here because of this little light triangular shape right here. And just kind of snaking out the bottom part of that. And again, we're working in a little rectangle shape. We can kind of tighten up on that triangular shape. There's something going on here that I don't really know what it is, but so and you're always trying to work up some contrast in the light areas and the dark areas and all this kind of stuff. So I want to make this darker up here. I want this all to be the same value. Eventually that'll be all the same. I'm going to go ahead and smudge this with my extra dirty paper towel. Basically this just creates, turns the whole thing into kind of your midtones, and you can now work your highlights up and work your darks in, and just kind of work it out as you go along. Okay, well, I'm just looking at this, and the only thing that I know for sure at this point is that I'd kind of like to have this be dark up here. Again, it's kind of coming in off the page. I'm envisioning this kind of left-hand light border thing here. So basically I'm just kind of cleaning this up, and again, I'm not using any line work. This is all a painterly kind of approach. I'm working in kind of broad tones, and so I'm just sort of I'm guessing as I'm going along. Now there's something going on right here. I don't really know what it is, but I'm just going to leave it in there. I can always go back and take it out. So what the heck? So anyway, just kind of coming along here. I still going to stick with this little dark area in here. Again, I don't know what's going on, but I just see little indications that maybe want to do something. Now, if this was a specific subject of some sort, then all of this rough stuff like this would be sneaking up on something, and I'd know where to go, where my tonal values were and all this kind of stuff, and I'd just start working them all. But this is basically I'm just working from all the little indications of pencil strokes, all of the little shadowed areas that already exist. Like over here, I know for sure that I want this corner dark. A good abstract's going to have a focal point, so I'm always sneaking up on that. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm looking at this and realize that this kind of has a corner of a piece of paper look, and like it's laying over this drawing. So I'm going to kind of treat it like that. I'm going to give it a little dimension down here, a little drop shadow, so that it just kind of looks like it's intruding over the top of whatever it is I've got going on here. And you can see it gives it an interesting dimension already. Now I'm going to hold off on, you might think this would be the way to go here, but I'm going to hold off on this. I'm just going to leave this the way it is for now, and just give it a little more study and see where to go next. Okay, I'm going to do a little erasing here. I'm going to be using a kneaded art gum eraser. This is an old one. It's what I do is in the beginning, if I start doing this, I use an old one. So this is an old eraser because they don't remove quite as much material as a brand new one does. So it allows you to kind of sneak up on what you're doing. I'm just going to go ahead, and I kind of like the idea of this thing laying over the artwork. So I know for sure that that's where I want to start. I have that idea in mind. I'm going to leave this alone up here, but this I know I want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do this and pull this out a little bit and study it some more. Okay, so I've been looking at this, and I think I would kind of like to come and connect these two little pieces right here. So I'm going to bust through the light areas here and just break this up. Kind of does a nice job of connecting the two. Kind of brings this, kind of brings it together a little bit, I think. So I'll go ahead and darken this up a little bit more. And there's kind of a peanut shape here I'm not crazy about, but I don't know. I think I'll just go ahead and darken up this area here, creating another level of depth in the thing, it looks like. So, but I think that'll work out all right. And we've also kind of created a kind of S curve here, which is actually kind of nice. But I'm not sure I'm crazy about this potato shape here. I don't know. We'll figure out something to do with that. As I look at it too, I think got a kind of mid-tone here. I think maybe I'd like to put a drop shadow under this. Again, creating another dimensional element. It's all starting to be layers at this point. Also, it kind of has the feel of torn paper, these little edges. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but I think I'm going to kind of work on kind of a torn paper look up there. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and smudge this down. And when you're doing these drawings, the closer you get to the final image, you want to use a cleaner surface of your paper towel. That's why I have these folded up so that you can always have a clean surface somewhere to work with. So we've reduced it down to gray tones, and now we'll go back and put in the darks and the lights. So you just go in and darken up the darks and lighten up the lights and middle up the middles, and just go back and forth like that. It'll pretty much tell you what you need to do. You'll just see things that you want to fix and you want to work on, and that's how you do it. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details of finishing this drawing. You can just watch it as a series of shorts, and but it's a fun technique. Give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it. Bye.